game that proves that nothing is more important than having fun, except for helicopters. This is 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. You're forgiven if you think that 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is a piece of crap. It's a licensed game starring a hip-hop star running amok in an unnamed Middle Eastern country. How good could it be? Well, there's no gripping story, the gameplay is a bit repetitive, and there's not much variation in the environments. But the game has something that counteracts all of that. It's really fun to play. You're forgiven if you think that this is a straight-up Gears of War clone. It sure looks just like a Gears of War clone, doesn't it? A third-person action game in rundown environments with lots of hiding behind cover. This is Gears of War, isn't it? No, it isn't. The feeling in the game is completely different. With 50 Cent's groovy music playing over the action and the focus on combos, timed mission, and high scores, this game feels more like playing a colorful, joyful game like Forza Horizon 4 or some arcade classic. The game just wants to make me feel good, and I love it for it. It's a bit strange at first hunting for combo kills when the action is repeatedly interrupted by changing ammo and the enemies hiding behind cover, but you get used to it, and it sure gives the game an original flavor. You're also forgiven if you think the story in this game is stupid and laughable, but it isn't. The story works perfectly well for what the game is trying to do, and there's nothing wrong with the writing or the acting. 50 Cent has been promised a diamond-covered skull as payment for a gig, but when the precious skull gets stolen, the star of the show will not rest until he's gotten his treasure back. That's all you need to know. You're not a hero and you're not a bad guy, you just want to get some diamonds or what you're worth, and that is all the motivation you need when the action feels so good. You're forgiven if you think that this game is totally over the top, but it isn't. Well, it is, but at the same time it isn't. Both in terms of gameplay and story, the game is rather toned down in comparison to most action games, and I like it. Yeah, sure, there are cool one-liners, the enemies die in silly ways, and there are buildings falling down in front of you, but the game sells the idea that this kind of stuff is what 50 Cent usually does in his free time very well. It is rather strange that 50 Cent holds a big concert in a city that later turns out to be a war zone. Where did those 50,000 people in the stadium come from when there are never any civilians on the streets? But other than that, the game quite convincingly sells the idea of 50 Cent as a big action hero. He's in your face, but elegant and toned down at the same time. I wouldn't mind playing more action games with this guy as the main character. An essential part of the game is of course the music, and while 50 Cent's music is not among my favorites, his music works perfectly well for killing bad guys too. You unlock one song for every chapter of every level, which means you always have some new grooves to look forward to. It's a bit irritating that you unlock the most famous songs, In the Club, PIMP and Wangsta at the very end, but on the other hand it gives you something worthwhile to fight for. I guess most people will come to this game with low expectations, but 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is a game that surprises you. The controls are smooth and on the point, the guns feel great, and there's not much in terms of glitches or design flaws to stop your path of destruction. 6 hours may sound a little short, but it's the perfect length for a simple high-score hunting action game like this. It doesn't outstay its welcome, but delivers the ending song and the encore just when it's supposed to. And you can always play it again, hunting for an even higher score. And of course we have the helicopters. This game is full of lovely helicopters. The characters in the story arrive and leave in helicopters. You get to ride in a helicopter on a special mission and shoot at everything and anything under you. And all the bosses in the game are wild helicopters you must shoot down. So if you love helicopters in your action game, just go for it. The only truly bad thing about this game is that there's no two-player co-op split screen. There are co-op for 2 players online, and the game is clearly created for 2 players to enjoy. Other games from this period like Gears of War, Army of Two and Kane and Lynch had 2-player co-op split screen, so it's a real letdown that this game doesn't. Killing baddies with a friend as 50 Cent and one of his buddies would have turned this game into pure gold. Now it has to be content with the label good. Well, that's not a shame for a licensed game, for sure. The good. Lots of fun action. Great pacing. doesn't outstay its welcome. Funky music, entertaining story with good writing and acting. The bad. No two-player co-op split screen. The gameplay is a bit repetitive. Not much variation in the environments. When all is said and done, I give 50 Cent Blood on the Sand 7 out of 10. The lack of two-player co-op split screen hurts the game in a major way. But if you can just accept that you have to go this alone, it's 6 lovely hours filled with groovy music, satisfying action and an amazing amount of helicopters. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next review.